Fdus, a BDC, Business Development Company. As of last year in September, they had 63 corporations that they were funding with first and secondary notes. They were collateralized notes. They also, well, there's a lot of other places they invest, but over half of that was in those particular 63 companies. Beta, 2.02. A positive earnings per share of over $1.25. I think it was $1.28 the last I looked. So, what is beta? I have talked about beta before in the past. So, the beta of 2.02 means if the market goes up roughly $1, then it should go like $1 or $2.02 for every dollar that the market goes up. It should. It's twice as volatile as the general stock market. Its earnings per share have gone up. It was 34 cents, and as of 2 days ago, it moved up to 38 cents, which means its dividend has been rising. I looked over the last 3 or 4 dividends. If you go put the dividend, if you put FDUS in, you put in your search bar FDUS, DIV, HIST, and then you let Google search it, and you go to NASDAQ, like I told you before, it will tell you that what the dividend has been when it's been for the last however many times it's been paying a dividend. A bunch of quarters ago, it was 39 cents per share. Then it went down to 30 cents a share at some point, and it was slowly going back up. It went to 34 cents per share, and now it's back to 38 cents per share. So the business development company puts money back into dividends. So the dividends are pretty good right now at 8.31%. It's not fantastic. I like 10% yields, but the 8.31% yield that's an okay yield. The price of the stock, I believe it was around 15. So your money can grow. Your dividends can grow. If this company has a problem, they'll cut back on dividends, but as soon as they have I've been checking them out, and apparently they want to continue to increase dividends for the stockholders, because when they had to cut their dividend to 30 cents a share, as soon as it was able, they went back up to 34 cents. Now it's 38 cents. So this company, to me, it would appear to be to me that this company is trying to increase dividends whenever it is financially advantageous to do that. Whenever they can do it, apparently, me looking just at their actions proves to me that they're interested in giving their shareholders fair amounts of money. 8.31% on your money is not so bad. If you go to a bank and you put $100 in your bank, at the end of next year, if they give you any money, say you put $100 in, by the end of next year, do you have an extra penny? Do you have to extra 10 cents? But if you have an 8% yield and it's $100, it would have been $8.31, far superior to a bank that doesn't give you any interest on your money. Your stock ownership, if something happens and you need to sell your stock, you have the money. If you don't sell the stock, you still have the stock and an income. Sometimes you put money in a bank and sometimes it gives you interest and sometimes it doesn't. But it's my last recollection, I've never seen a bank giving you 8.31% interest. But I do see 8.31% dividend yield on the money that you put into Fdus. Looking at the beta again. Beta is 2.02. Beta means if the whole stock market, the entire stock market, including every stock, goes up $1, the whole stock market moves up $1. The beta is twice as that. Beta is twice as much as the whole stock market has a beta of 1. They're looking at every single stock combined together as 1 beta. If you have a beta that's 2.02 or 2, that means every time the entire stock market goes up, say $1, then the value of your stock should go up $2 if it has a twice as big beta. And then if the stock market goes down $1 overall, then the value of your stock, in this case FDUS, should go down roughly $2 or $2.02. So even though it has a high beta, I have purchased the stock and I take my 8.31% yield. I like to take advantage of the time when the stock goes down in price. With a beta of 2, I prefer a beta of 1, less than or equal to negative or positive 1 beta. I prefer that. But in this time, at this particular stock, I've overlooked it and bought it even though it has a beta of 2. When the value of the stock market goes down really high, really goes down, that's the time you look at, is the earnings per share enough? And it has a decent earnings per share. I believe it was $1.28, I believe. So when I look at the earnings per share of $1.23 or $1.28, whatever it was, you can look online when you go to, you can look online. I've noticed a little tiny problem with the app that Apple provides you for free. Okay? If you have an iPhone 12 or 11, 10, 9, or 5, or whatever it is that you have, they do provide you a stock app. Only use that as a general guide because sometimes it is way off. I've looked at according to that app, okay, the app says that it's supposed to have a yield of like 8%. Then you go to the dividend history, Fdus dividend history, right? You go to there, FDUS, DIVHIST, hit enter on your Google, and then the NASDAQ comes up. You'll find out the actual yield is more like 8.31. We say, well, how do you know that the iOS is wrong and not that? Well, I checked it out because another stock I was looking at said it was like 17% yield, and I go over to the actual, and it went down to less than 1% at that NASDAQ location. Very important that you don't depend solely on your one app that's on your phone that has a problem. You know, that Apple has a lot of different apps, and they don't focus on every single app that they have for its accuracy, apparently to me. But NASDAQ, all they deal in is stocks. So in my opinion, that is a more credible area. Also, I checked out some stuff on Seeking Alpha. It is best when you research a stock not to depend on only one source. One source of your app on your cell phone could cost you a lot of money when you're expecting a 17% yield and you're only going to get less than 1%. Beta, you have to check out beta too also. You also have to check out the beta on different places like Seeking Alpha. NASDAQ doesn't cover the beta, I don't believe. You go to different places. You put in the ticker symbol FDUS, and then you put a space, and then you put the word stock, S-T-O-C-K. Then a whole bunch of different websites come out, and then you can pick each one that you want to look at and find out what it says about the beta, what it says about the yield. But then when you want to be very specific and you want to just get the dividend history, then you put in FDUS, DIV, HIST, and then check NASDAQ. Sometimes NASDAQ is not 100% accurate, and then you have to go to some of the others because they'll say that there is no yield and there is a yield. So there's some other places. I will cover that at length in another video. But for the most part, right now I was talking about beta, and I was talking about FDUS, and it seems to be a secure company. They made it through the pandemic, and they're still paying like 8%. In September of 2020, the yield was 9 point something, I believe, 9.2. I would imagine that was because of the price would have been lower in September 2020. I have noticed in time, a lot of the stocks that I have purchased go up in value faster than inflation. Hawaiian Electric is like that. I used to be able to buy it for less than 20. Now it's in the 30s, 34, 30 something. I don't know. But when you look at every single stock, you do not depend on one app. You do not depend on one source of information. It's always better to have 5 or 10 different sources of information. Even this channel is to tell you what stocks I have bought, what stocks I believe in, what stocks that I like. You may not like them, but it is a source of information about stocks to begin with. You can always talk to your financial advisor. Well, I don't have a financial advisor. I can't afford a financial advisor. That costs too much money for a financial advisor. Should I still get into stocks? I have gotten into stocks without a financial advisor. It takes time to learn the market. However, if you want to learn the market, you can get your feet wet slowly. A lot of people would like to have a broker. Well, you can have a broker that doesn't charge commissions. You go to Charles Schwab. That's one. If you want to if you're afraid of using brokers, you can always go to Wells Fargo and pay $5 a share. I mean, $5 at commission to purchase X number of shares or whatever. You can do that. They do charge Wells Fargo. But you can talk to somebody at Wells Fargo. And you can talk to somebody at Charles Schwab. Beta is important. It's one of the things I look at a lot. That I look at. You might not want to look at it. You might not care. I look at beta. I look at earnings per share. Please try to make sure whatever stock you buy has a good earnings per share. If it continually goes in a negative direction, you may want to sell the stock. GM, everyone thought GM was going to last forever and ever and ever. They went bankrupt. And I knew that I saw that they were going to go bankrupt a few years before they went bankrupt based on the fact that every single quarter they were losing money. You can't maintain that forever. So I'm going to upload this video. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you know me personally, message me. Call me if you know me personally. If you don't, put a message down below. As certain people say, peace out. And I do want you to live long and prosper. And also, I want you to know to have a jolly good day. Personally, the most important thing to me is for God bless America.